Hello everyone, it's Patri. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I read for the LATINXATHON. This is the first challenge I've gotten to complete throughout all of booktube, all of my booktube, I guess. Even when I was just a viewer, I never actually did challenges. Last year I posted a TBR video of the books I would be reading for the LATINXATHON, but I ended up not reading any of them. Sad, I know. I've read a couple of them throughout the year, but never within the time period the challenge was held. If you don't know what the LATINXATHON is, it focuses in on Latinx authors during Latinx/Hispanic Heritage Month. It goes from September 15th till October 15th. It gives you a bunch of different prompts for you to pick out good books, and this year I think the theme was spooky vibes. I will be posting the host down in my description box, so go check out their videos. This is the 4th year they're hosting it, and like I mentioned, my first year actually completing the challenge. So this year there were 4 prompts. Number 1 was read a short book. It could be poetry, a short story, a picture book. Number 2 is read something spooky. Number 3 is read something cozy. And number 4 is read something seasonal. So let's see. What did I read? What did I read, Goodreads? Tell me what I read. If you don't follow me on Goodreads, go follow me. We can be friends. We can see what we each read. The first book I read was You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria, and I used it for prompt number 3, read something cozy. I picked this book because I find romance the coziest genre ever, and I had been wanting to read this for so long now, and it did not disappoint. I rated it 4 stars, and we're basically following 2 actors in a telenovela who fall for each other. It was so freaking cute. The main characters are Puerto Ricans. I am Puerto Rican, as I mentioned in every video, and I just always love seeing Puerto Rican representation, family dynamics, food, the drama, and I really liked this. I found that the 2 protagonists had a lot of chemistry, and yeah, I loved it. 4 out of 5 stars. The second book I read for the 4th prompt, which was read something seasonal. It can be argued that it doesn't maybe look seasonal, but the vibes it was giving me was seasonal. So I read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zoraida Cordova, and this was so good as well. We're basically following a witch, you could kind of say, and she has a bunch of relatives. She writes to her relatives that she's dying and they need to collect their inheritance, but when they go to her, she has turned into a tree, basically. So then unfolds the story of her life and how she came to be a witch. Which they didn't realize their grandma was a witch. I mean, they kind of realized it, they just never had confirmation. So yeah, we're following their current timeline as well as her life story and the family trying to piece together everything that's not making sense right now. This was a wonderful, beautiful story that I think explored family very well, and it was just so good. It was my first Zoraida Cordova. I own 2 of her other books, and this was the first I read, and she did not disappoint, so I'm so excited to get to the other ones. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. It was just so good, so wholesome. I feel like it ended so beautifully, and it was written so beautifully. I freaking love this. The next book I read, which fit prompt number 2, was read something spooky, and I read the so famous Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, and I will say it did not disappoint. I very much so enjoyed the listening experience of this book. I, like many others, have been wanting to read this for a very long time just because of all the rave around it, and It did not disappoint. We're following a trans main character who feels like he has not been fully accepted by the Brujex community in his town, which is also a secret community. And to prove to his family that he is a brujo, he kind of like takes it upon himself to pass on a ghost onto the afterlife, but things kind of go wrong. His cousin has also been murdered and he is trying to uncover this mystery. So this was also very wholesome. It had those Dia de los Muertos like kind of spooky but beautiful vibes. Like it's never like too spooky and scary. It's more just like cozy spooky, if that makes sense. I adored this. I think it's as good as a book as everyone says, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The only reason I gave it 4 stars was because I thought the ending kind of wrapped up a little fast, but as you guys know, I think that of like every book ever, so still very good. Yes. The last book I read was Citizen Illegal by Jose Olivares. This fits prompt number 1, read something short, and this was a poetry collection. Now, I really admire poetry and I really do like it. I just don't think I'm very good at understanding it. Poetry is obviously a learned skill and you need to practice it, and I don't practice it enough, even though I've been trying to get more into it. With that being said, keep that like in mind as you listen to my judgment, because it does have a super high rating. It has a 4.44, so I think maybe I just don't fully get it. I felt like I didn't actually know how to read it. I feel like maybe reading it out loud would have been very beneficial to the collection. Felt like some poems were very good, but there were some that felt very disconnected and, like I said earlier, a little cornier. I feel like his stories had the potential to bring a connection back to either his own personal experience or a more general one, but they kind of just felt a little surface level. My favorite poem of the collection was Mexican American Disambiguation. I thought that was very good, very impactful. I had goosebumps, and I think Mexican Heaven was the other one that kind of did the same, but there were a lot that I just didn't feel much for other than just like a regular poem. It has a very high rating though. It has a 4.44, so I feel like I said, don't take my words as like statement, because I think reading it again and reading it out loud would really help me out and connecting with this book a little more. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. And that is it for the LATINXATHON challenge. I'm very happy that I completed it and I gained a little knowledge from all of them. Patience, love, struggle, and sympathy. Those are some words that pop into mind when I think of all of these books as a collective. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did the LATINXATHON as well, comment down below. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.